afternoon, everyone. It is Thursday. We are almost at the end of a week. And today I'm here with my friend and collaborator extraordinaire, Don Cohen. We get on live all the time together. We just enjoy working with each other. But as you're watching this, guys, I want you to put in the chat too where you're from. What country are you from? What state are you from? And let us know if you're open to connect as well. Feel free to use this as a networking platform today, so that you can gain connections and gain value. That's what it's all about. But let us know where you're from. And as we're going on our talk, let us know if you have any questions. I really want you guys to be able to use this time with Don Cohen to ask him anything you want about LinkedIn. So we are your LinkedIn experts, and Don and I are very aligned in a lot of ways, which is why we get along. But we want to help folks. So we see someone from Lebanon. Hello, Reina. I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. But it's good to have everybody here today. And let us know again if there's anything that you have a question on specifically regarding LinkedIn. Don, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing fabulous, Tara. So nice to be here. I'm so honored to be sharing this LinkedIn Live with you. I know that in all of our past LinkedIn Lives, we're even impressed at the end of how much we were able to share and how much it helped us kind of reflect and rethink some of the things we do, because I think that's part of communication. Once you express it, it becomes reality. Once you share it, it becomes powerful, because now you're providing somebody with insight that they don't have to invest their time and effort to learn from. And learning from others is so key to LinkedIn success. And that's what I think we bring to the table.
Yes, absolutely. Reina is popping in here. Do you think I can find a student to teach them accounting? Because I have 10,000 followers, but I cannot have clients. Wow, it sounds like you're on the right track to success there, Reina, with all of your followers. So for you, it sounds like you're having an issue with converting. One of my questions would be, what is your direct approach to sales and what's your indirect approach? I think a lot of times as sales folks, we focus so much on that direct. What's your indirect as well? Don, do you have any insights?
Yeah, I would say, getting 10,000 followers is pretty significant.
Yeah.
So whatever you did to achieve that, if you can pivot and leverage that to acquire or engage future clients. But one thing that really relates to it is the relevancy and the authenticity of your messaging, because unless it's defined and clear, and unless it falls on ears that are aligned and potential candidates for clients, what you become is more of a broadcaster to the general audience. And with 875 million people, I would really niche my messaging so that it was very clear to anybody who heard it that that's what I was about, and maybe that would get you a little bit more activity.
I love that. So niche it down, but also worked on both your indirect and direct approach. Because guys, that's something really powerful. Let's stay on there for just a moment. When we don't have original, thoughtful content that doesn't come from our hearts, we're going to attract anybody and all attention. And that's not what we want, is it, Don? We want aligned partners. We want aligned clients, right?
Yeah, and we want to help those as much as we want to help ourselves, making sure that they're well directed into their time and attention. So if you're a restaurant and you just say restaurant, right, it's up to everybody's curiosity to figure out what it is, or just say, I don't care, I'll eat whatever they have. But that doesn't, isn't necessary, right? If you're an Italian restaurant or you're a fast food restaurant, that will get the right people. And here's what you won't get is a lot of people assuming and asking questions and asking for certain things that you could have covered in your content, right?
Or in your profile too, right, Don?
Exactly, because there's no reason trying to fool anybody, trying to be something you're not.
Yeah.
And with 875 million people, there's somebody for everybody.
Yeah. I love that. And you have another question, Raina. Is this the wrong platform to use for accounting tutoring? Absolutely. This is the best one. Stay here, but put your investment in LinkedIn. This is where decision makers are. This is where people come with business in mind. This is where it is. It's not your product. It's probably not your service. It may not even be you. Could be the fact that they don't know you exist, they're unsure of your offering or what you're about, or they're not sure about you as a person. Make it super clear, just like Don said. Explicitly clear, make it explicitly clear in both your content as well as on your profile. And then follow that up with an enrichment of how you nurture your customers and your audience. We've got some more people coming in. Thank you so much, Raina. I hope that answered your question there. And again, if anybody else is listening that has LinkedIn questions, how to grow your business, how to grow your personal brand, how to go to market, how to find your niche, we're here. We want to help you guys. Don, you've been an entrepreneur your whole life. And that's something that I love about Don, because I'm a first-time entrepreneur. And Don, in so many ways, is a mentor for me. And you have taught me so much, your wealth of wisdom. So guys, when I say this, he is the expert not only on LinkedIn, but in business. Let's use his brain right now, seriously. But what are your thoughts, Don? There's a lot of first-time entrepreneurs out there. They don't know how to market themselves. They're not sure.
That is key. And thank you so much for the kind thoughts and recognition. And like anything else, it's easier if you've already been through it, right? Because you have context, you have a lot of experience. And that's one thing that I've learned is there's things that were so valuable 30, 40 years ago in business that are just as relevant or more valuable today because of the scarcity. And in turn, there's things that are changing by the second with technology. And what I would also say to everybody out there is visit more of Tara's programs. Visit this program, because this is where you can get not only quality advice, but personalized advice. And the time and cost investment is very, very strong. And that's what people ask me is, can you help me with this, or what should I do with that? And I said, just continue to get smarter. Just tune into more people. And if you do it right, just like we talked about with your content, if you reach out to people in the right way, with respect, with some knowledge that you've actually watched something, appreciated something, because people want to know what they're doing works and how it works with other people. So you're actually helping provide for an investment in yourself and that person by visiting the program, because these are the platforms me and Tara leverage to get all this wonderful information out at no cost, and something you can share. And by association and third-party validation, our names gets bigger. And when you share a gift that you think is very valuable, now your brand just got polished, your relationships just got reinforced. So you can see how you can get a string and put a bunch of pearls together that are already out there. All you have to do is take action, be a little strategic, and don't feel bad about not knowing, because I would rather have a person who knows nothing and builds from a blank sheet than someone who comes from 30 years of knowing everything and feel entitled and come here and expect people to know who they are, and what they bring, and what was doesn't necessarily translate to what is or what could be. So anyways, with that said, learning is key, experimenting, including, honoring. I mean, the key is, what is your giving quotient? At
Yeah.
what point can you give and not feel bad about it, or not feel like you're not getting a return? And that's really the key, is what do you bring to others in order for them to expect something back to you?
Amen to that. And it's not like how it used to be in business, and that's a good thing. We have to evolve, folks. And you know what? The pandemic taught us is that people crave that human, genuine connection. People crave authenticity. So, you mentioned in just a little bit ago that, we crave authenticity, but also to put that in your content, and that it's part of your experience. It's really part of your brand, right? How you go to market on LinkedIn is part of that experience. And it gives someone a taste of what it's like to work with you before a contract's ever signed, before money is ever discussed or exchanged, before it's even a thought that they could be a potential customer in your mind. Give them the experience of what it's like to interact with your brand and you as a person. But give more add value. I think that's so key.
Mhm.
You hit on that, Don. We have, again, I've talked about this I, myself, and I, it's me, me, me. Well, nobody is going to be attracted to that, or you're going to get the wrong attraction. It's got to be about that other person. So when you write content, and that's part of the indirect sales approach that I talked about, at the beginning of this talk. Is it about you, or is it about the person you are looking to serve?
So it's so profound, and I hope everybody takes note. And the other thing that's really important is, people make a miscalculation in thinking it's the stuff they provide that makes a difference. And I find it's the empathetic support that's the glue that keeps people with people. It's the person who says, "I've been there. I know it's not easy, but we can get through this together. And here's what I think we should do." And then you're trusting, and that's really the key. In order to get empathetic support and to be worthy of it, you have to trust, right? If you go in with a limited belief system, if you go in with how am I going to get taken advantage of, instead of how do I take advantage of an opportunity with someone else, because at the end of the day, the game is between you and yourself, and if you're your best friend, and you allow yourself to be another best friend to another best friend, and that's what you want to do, is duplicate. You want to build scale on LinkedIn. You want to have a system that's replicatable, simple, direct. Too many people come from scarcity, and they start out with a huge net, and they never have enough. And the people who come from abundance are purveyors of quality, right? If you went shopping for whatever you shop for, and if it was something really important to you, if it was outdoor power equipment, if it was jewelry, you would really want to be particular, right? Because you're only going to be able to buy so many tractors or so many watches.
Mm-hmm.
But why not take the best you can? And unlike going into a jewelry store or an outdoor power equipment, the currency on LinkedIn is trust and value. And the sooner you can show you're trustworthy, then all of a sudden the safety element leaves, right? And now you got an open mind. And then once you can bring in knowing, I know where you're at, I work with people, I know people just like you, here's how we can do it, right? You don't want to get into, okay, now what do you think? Or what are you into? What would you like to do? Because then you've lost control. In turn, you lose respect because if they're driving the bus instead of you, why do they want to be on your bus? You
Hmm.
know, and you have to be respectful of their time. So if you say, hey, listen, I know you're busy, blah, blah, blah. I focus on this so you don't have to, but I also can work with you. And all of a sudden, it's like now you're saving time and you're making life better because as a CEO, I had so many people presume that if they could save me money, I would do business with them, and what they didn't take into consideration is if it was going to cause disruption in the company,
Yeah.
if it was going to cause challenge, then the extra savings wasn't worth it. But if they can come in and say, I can make your business better, your life easier, your people feeling better, then that's what I was looking for. So I think Tara's absolutely right. Just like you have to be distinct and definitive in your messaging, when you have your conversations, you have to take that to the next level to be as transparent as you can to say, here's what it is based on who I am and what I can do, right? Because you're always going to be who you are, and what you can do can change, but that's a snapshot. And if you say that's what you're looking for, this could be terrific. And if it's not, if I can help you, in some way, I'll refer you, and I think that's a goodwill gesture. But the other thing is they have to know you're as particular or more about them.
Yes.
Because if you get beyond the transactional, how much do I make, into who this will allow me to be by working with this person, because I'm thinking, can I learn something? Can I be better for the presence that this person brings? And can they make me, just by association, be better than I could have without it? Because I know when I'm talking to a lot of people bring up Tara's name or says, I saw you on the show, or, I kept this or whatever. And that wouldn't have happened just independently. Now what me and Tara were talking about is maybe bringing like panels together. So if you can leverage time, and LinkedIn Live is a great opportunity, and you say, well, one person with one person actually is like three audiences because you get the leverage of both audiences. But if you brought five together,
Yeah.
right, and made an event, and I've been talking to a few people, and all of a sudden that's key is programming, not only LinkedIn Live, but your own programming.
Yeah.
What is your show going to be? Is it going to be a comedy show? Is it going to be a drama? Is it going to be a mystery? And you can create whatever genre, if that's a word, that you want. So anyways, I digress, but want to just show how much opportunity there is if you can really zero in and apply yourself to it.
Absolutely. And, you hit on a lot of key things. And please, again, let's keep the comments flowing, everyone. If you're just tuning in, let us know where you're from, what city or state or country. But also, if you have any LinkedIn questions, again, this is your time with Don Cohen. He's got, almost 40,000 connections. This guy is a total expert at what he does. Pick his brain, please. But you hit on a lot of important points. But something you hit on, I really want to touch one more time: scarcity mindset versus abundant mindset. So, that is so absolutely key. And it's a key part in our sales approach on social media as well. Well, in sales in general, but especially on social. If you're coming to your prospect, to anybody, to somebody you want to network with, to a decision maker, to a potential business partner or investor, and you come at them with a scarcity mindset, they are not going to want to do business with you. You have to approach every person on LinkedIn just like you would in real life with that abundance mindset of, again, giving first, adding value, and really layering the value on, letting them see what it's like to work with you before they sign a paper. So I was in an amazing, I've been in a couple meetings already today. One of the meetings was about branding, and it was an offer to join this multinational branding group where we support each other and, again, get together as a community and improve each other's lives. Well, he said his core values. And he said, I only want people that are aligned with these core values. He gave us a lot of information, more than I was expecting to receive, honestly. Directives that we could implement that day. So again, it was a giving more approach, it was an adding value, and it was really layering it on, but also letting us into the authenticity of who this individual is as a person, as a leader. That's what people want. That's
Mhm.
what people are attracted to. And you know what? I remember it. I remember it, and I will always remember it. And it left an impression on me. And again, what is the impact we are leaving behind on LinkedIn? Is it coming from an abundance mindset, one of scarcity and lack, or again, of gratitude, reciprocity, and paying it forward, folks? Let's really get that third party perspective, that 10,000-foot view, and really examine if something's not working for us on LinkedIn. What is it? Let's get prescriptive, right? Let's
Mhm.
dive into what that problem is so that we can fix it. And then evolve and move forward. And again, get more followers, get more engagement, get more clients. I think we've got some people joining in. So from Sri Lanka, amazing. Thank you so much. But again, ask Don some questions. He is at a different point in his LinkedIn journey than a lot of people tuning in right now. Again, almost 40,000 followers. So this is the time to ask some good questions. But Don, what do you think going into 2023? As we wrap up today, going into 2023, what piece of advice would you give folks on LinkedIn right now that you see may be LinkedIn in the future, or how we need to act on LinkedIn or present ourselves better to ultimately have more success? Do you have any thoughts on that, Don?
Oh, I could talk forever. Uh,
Yeah.
you know what? I know it sounds self-promotional, but my primary advice, if I was just walking into LinkedIn, is engage somebody like myself or Tara. And there's lots of people like us who bring a lot of value and can help a lot of people get over themselves, get through plateaus, really give them context. And you can see the way Tara's talking is she really does care, but more importantly, she really goes deep where all the richness is, right?
Mhm.
The superficial stuff, you can talk to anybody, and primarily because it's superficial. But if you really want to get serious, commit, and we're looking for long-term relationships, not short-term transactions. So we're looking at what someone's vision is, at least at the beginning, to
Yeah.
see, is this an opportunity we can take full advantage of for everybody involved? Or is this a better opportunity meant for someone else? And I think that's what you need to do, is get clarity. Buy some vowels before you try and solve the puzzle, like Tara says.
Yeah.
And, look at it, as a business. And if you treat it like a business, it can pay you as a business. If you treat it like a hobby, be clear about it. And there's nothing wrong with it. LinkedIn is an enjoyable, educational platform, social. You can get so much, you can get anything you want if you're clear about how you ask for it. And there's people who will help you if you ask for it in a way that says it's justified. In other words, everybody has to say why. Everybody can ask for something, and the person receiving the request would say, well, why would I want to do this for you? And there might be 100 great reasons, and there might not be one. But even rejection tells you, to the earlier question, I have so many connections and very few clients. Is that a clue? Whatever you're doing is getting you what you're getting. If it's not what you want, then you're investing in something and not getting a return, and trying to do something better that isn't working isn't as important as doing something different that could work. And you always have what you had before. You can always go back to yesterday, right? If you loved what your strategy was. But to me, when you have 875 million people and billions of interactions, there's too much there not to be able to drill into it and get your fair share. And right, so I'd put the time into learning, the time into associating, and then the time into applying,
Yes.
versus let's start swinging at about anything that comes your way. And you'll run out of steam, you'll run out of energy, you'll run out of patience. And that's why teaming up with somebody will give you some relief, will give you some support. And it's always easier to go through challenges when you're with someone else going through the same challenges, because you're not alone, and you can learn when they're learning and vice versa. And eventually you do it because you like being together. How many times you go to an activity that you would have never gone on your own, but because of the people there or the people invited you, you can't wait to go bowling, right? Or you can't wait to go miniature golfing. It really doesn't matter. It's just like people get invited for dinner, and after a while they forgot what they ate. They were so enthralled with conversation and with the people they were with. It could have been peanut butter sandwiches. So that's my advice, and have fun. I think Tara's an example of if you're not laughing during the day, you're leaving something behind.
Yeah.
Right. That should be the dessert you serve yourself every so often. That, while you're waiting for something significant to happen to you, if someone tells you a funny story or someone distracts you. I know I talked to a lady from Ireland, and Jenny.
Yeah, I love Jenny.
We do LinkedIn Lives all the time too. Jenny Maxwell, for those out there. But we just got to talking, and pretty soon she started thinking about her grandparents because of some of the things we're saying, and brought back memories. So some of this can ignite excitement that hasn't surfaced in the past.
Yeah.
Provoke thoughts and things of that nature. So there's so many ways that you can justify your time on LinkedIn if you identify what your goals are and then measure against them.
I love that. That is so true. And again, it goes back to that experience. What resonating impact did you leave on your network that day? I don't think we ask ourselves that enough. And, going back to this question right here, I'll put it back on the screen. It sounds like we have 10,000 empty followers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can love vanity metrics all day long. But if it's not gaining us money, if it's not increasing our happiness, if it's not enriching our lives or the lives of others, then it's not working. So again, that goes back to that strategy. You can always go back if the new strategy doesn't work, but try something new. And get out of your comfort zone, start interacting with those 10,000 followers on a little bit more human level, and watch as something changes. So, start following people's content, start supporting more.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the first things that I do when I work with clients is I do a full audit of their activity on LinkedIn. Most of the time, it's their activity.
Mm-hmm.
Either by themselves, they're not posting, or they're not really engaging a community commenting on other people's posts and supporting them. It's very easy. You look at your activity and you determine, is it working? Is it not working? Right? You put it, it's two buckets. If it's working, great. Don't worry about it. If it's not, you absolutely have to change your approach in some kind of way. And most of the time, it's that building a community, building that reciprocity, giving first, layering on value. Again, are you commenting? Are you building a community? Or are you collecting followers? One's great for vanity, but it doesn't get you paid and it doesn't get anyone else helped by you. So if you are the best, absolute best person for the job, people should want to connect with you. They should want to engage with you and they should want to do business with you. But if you don't support them, why would they? Give them a reason by adding value and by reciprocating without expectation of anything in return. And again, watch as it changes for you. So we have another session joined from another comment joined from Hong Kong. As a recruiter or company manager or anyone has contacts for those personal, please get in touch with me to move to these locations. Let us know if you have LinkedIn questions, definitely, right? That's what we're here for today. We'd love to help everybody, but today is LinkedIn, related and centric. But Don, any closing thoughts on LinkedIn? What you got?
Based on what you were just discussing, sometimes you got to wonder, who are you asking your questions to, right? And what I found to be so effective, if I had 10,000 followers, I would start doing some polls, right? So if put a poll, you can do it with a post. You can't do it with a video or a LinkedIn Live, but you can do a poll. And if you said, out of I have 10,000 followers, the same question you asked, is there anybody out there who has an interest in accounting tutoring? Right? That's direct. And the beauty of it is, anybody who says yes or likes it, you can now have permission to say, I just saw you supported my poll and might have an interest. Always don't assume anything. If you'd like to discuss it in greater detail, I'd be open to a Zoom. That's as simple as it is. And then everybody knows. And if you keep asking people, do you want something? And nobody raises their hand, what it shows, you built 10,000 connections that weren't related and aligned to your process. They were aligned to your invitation or message, or they were doing irrelevant things too. So now both people have these audiences that have no value to themselves. They may have value to storytelling, picture sharing, things of that nature. But ask yourself, are you doing too much with too little when you could bring other people in? I mean, if you were moving a house of furniture, and I've moved a few times, and where you say, no, we shouldn't ask Bob or Jim to come over, we can do it. At 10 o'clock at night, you think, I could have used 2 more people.
Yeah.
Well, the same thing on LinkedIn is like, look at your board of directors. Look, build one of 4 or 5, because Tara's right. If you get 5 quality aligned you got a lot to work with, because you can start working together to do LinkedIn Lives, to do co-promotional things, to have knowledge sharing meetings, but you've got to be the facilitator. You've got to be proactive. You've got to go out and make opportunities, not wait for opportunities. And you got to show that you got to bounce in your step. You're excited. People are like elevator buttons. Some take you up and some take you down. And people love to be around somebody that makes them feel better for their presence and gives them something to think about. And, at the end of the day, no matter how old you are or what your experience level is, people like to know someone says, you're okay, and don't worry. Those are 2 things. You're okay. Don't worry. We can do it, and if you put a little emphasis on that, they start, if they question themselves the other way,
Yeah.
right? Is when they're thinking from the scarcity, I can't do this, this is too much, to maybe I could do this, or I know this could work. And all of a sudden, all that other stuff disappears. So, yeah, be a good friend to yourself and even a better friend to other people, and they'll be a good friend to you. And that's how things build.
Absolutely. So well said. Thank you so much, my friend. Again, everybody connect with Don Cohen. Follow his content. Look at what he's doing. It takes somebody that is an expert, that is a leader, which he is. Look at his content, follow it, and then try to apply some of what Don is doing. But work with somebody like Don. There is absolutely no reason that we need to keep operating at this one-to-one leverage and growing this much every month or year. That is crazy. Work with somebody who can hold your hand, hold you accountable, and really take you to that next level on LinkedIn. So here's Daniel. Hi, Daniel. Hope you're doing well, by the way, my friend. I think that being a facilitator on the operational side of business is always a good start. Absolutely. Be a facilitator, right? Help others. If you see someone struggling, help them. Again, pay it forward with that act of reciprocity and giving and layering on value. I can't say that enough, folks. But for anybody that is struggling on LinkedIn, if you're struggling to monetize your LinkedIn page, if you're struggling to convert followers to clients, if you're struggling to grow your personal brand, if you want to network with top decision makers, I have developed a personal branding online playbook program that has over 30 videos, and we meet once a week as a group cohort, guys. We hold each other accountable, and we have Q&A time. If you want something like this to take you to that next level, don't hesitate to reach out to me for any questions. I am taking on new students right now. We just launched it. So if that's something that works for you, or if working with Don and working actively to build up your LinkedIn presence works for you, utilize us. We're the LinkedIn experts. We're here to help everybody succeed. Again, going into 2023, but beyond. It's time to stop saying, in 3 months, I'm ready, or in a year, or 2 weeks even. Start today, take the action now, because honestly, you never know when that next opportunity is right behind that next door. And if you're not set up and ready for them, are you going to be able to receive that opportunity? Take action today. You don't want an opportunity to pass you by, and really utilize and lean on Don and I, because we both care and we both want to help uplift our community. And we believe that there's enough for all to succeed, which means we want you to succeed. So thank you so much, everyone who tuned in today. I hope you found it very valuable. And again, reach out to Don, connect with Don, follow his activity. But Don, thank you so much, my friend, for being on my show today. And I always just am amazed at what you say. Every day when we talk, I think I gain a little bit more wisdom. So thank you for passing that on to me as a mentor. But we appreciate every single person here. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.